What's going on, Conscious Crew? It's your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what we're here to get into. Before we do so, go ahead and thumbs up the video until it's absolutely stuck. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. And it enforces that all Conscious Crew members are invited to the platform. So I need all of you like the video. If you guys can use your fingers to click on the link, click on the stream, type in the chat. You can definitely use those fingers to thumbs up the video. It's $3.99. It don't cost your mother nothing. But speaking of not costing your girl, you can also donate to the platform $Consciouztv on Cash App and or PayPal.me/Consciouztv. All links are in the description box below. And thank you so much in advance for your love and support. Also, make sure that you have all of your notifications set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the king is in fact king. And last but not least, please share the stream to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your Facebook, your MySpace, your Twitter, your Snapchat, the dark side of Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact lay the link. Just let the viewers know that we're loud, we're live, and we are certainly in calling. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious Crew, baby? The baby mamas are coming through, baby. With an Nancy needs a child support check. Yes, God. Y'all know all donation information is in the description box below. Let me shout out to my baby mama, Tanika, for the nasty piece of child support check. Thank you, baby mama, Tanika. My baby mama, Teresa, for the nasty piece of child support check. Thank you, baby mama, who says thank you for being you. Thank you for being you, my love. Also, shout out to my baby mama, Sarah, for the nasty piece of child support check, who said, for just because on period, okay? I told y'all, honey, okay, dancing me dancing. I get up here and work for y'all, girl. Work down boots. Now, once again, y'all know I was experiencing a little content creating hump because everything going on politically just like took me completely out. It had my empathy very deregulated. So I'm back kind of getting into the flow, getting my zooch back. You know, I missed you guys. So, you know, it's back to usual by itness. If you guys missed the earlier live stream, please, when you get finished here, take an opportunity to look at that girl. My baby mother Fatima is like, CTV, this live stream was off the damn chain. Okay, so if y'all missed the shenanigans of the last live stream, please get into it. We had another hot topics, girl. Lots of things going down in Hollywood. So, you know, make sure that your notification bells are set to all. And if you don't get notifications because YouTube is tied and whacked, which is why I also post the links when I go live over in Patreon, because, you know, they have a very straight to point notification system, girl. You know, the emails always are emailing, girl, when posts go up to Patreon. But because YouTube don't always do its job with notifications, you guys have to sometimes like manually check the platform, sometimes multiple times a day, because sometimes I'm live multiple times a damn day like I am today. Okay, so even if you don't get notified, just swing on over here, girl, you know, and see what's going on. Check the video tab and check the live tab, because there may be pre-recorded material or a live stream that you had missed. And always check the community wall post, because I also post over on the community wall. Now, also, speaking of Patreon, you guys, I'm going to be doing all of my true crime commentary and shows over in Patreon, as well as all political commentary, okay? So you guys can sign up for Patreon to get into all of that. I got some updates regarding the Carmelo Anthony versus, not even really versus, but the situation with Carmelo Anthony and his fellow 17-year-old peer, Austin McCaff. It's a lot going on when it comes to that whole story, that whole situation, girl. All that commentary and any other true crime political-based commentary will be going down over in this Patreon. I will post the links to the Patreon shows to YouTube so you guys can know that content has been uploaded over on Patreon, but you will have to sign up for Patreon, which is only $5 a month. In order to get all of that content, all right? So shout out to my Patreon members who've been holding me down for years over there, girl. Okay, we about to get it back cracking over on Miss Patreon. Now, I think that's all for the church announcements. As you guys are coming in, once again, please thumbs up the video. Let me go ahead and speak to the country crew in the building. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Adora. What's going on? Trevor. Hey, Ladaya. Hey, Boo. What's going on? Sabre. Hey, Moon Witch. Hey, Sin. What's going on? Shelf. Lakata, hey baby, what's going on? Kay, hey Lauren, what's going on? Sandy, hey Jean, what's going on? Teresa, hey Angelica, hey Tanika, hey Kita, what's going on? Hey Lady D, what's going on? C-Bus, hey y'all. Oh, also y'all, when I be doing a roster and roll call and I be speaking to everybody, if I never say your name, it's because for some reason your comments don't show up on StreamYard. I would have to go to the actual YouTube app to look at the chat to see your actual comment. I don't know why some people comments don't show up on StreamYard, but they show up on the regular YouTube app. But that happens a lot of times, and I just want to make sure that nobody feels that they're being ignored, girl. You know, I don't know what be going on with the glitchiana of it all, but StreamYard kind of always been like that, where some people's comments just do not show up on StreamYard. I have to actually pull up the YouTube app to see them. Now, let's get into some things, girl. It's a lot going on down in the Hollywood of it all, girl. First thing we got to do, girl, I guess, is get into Miss Basketball Wives, girl. Season 2500, girl, is going to be debuting in 2025, child. They want to give us more smoke and more drama on top of this raggedy ass extreme right-wing administration that we're going to have to survive, honey. Okay, I guess Basketball Wives said, girl, we need a little bit of that. So they released a season 12 trailer today that involves Jackie's favorite light-skinned skinny daughter, Miss Christie, or Miss Chantel, getting into an altercation with her mammy, girl. It looked like Jackie gave Chantel a old nasty right hook, girl, and took her to the king, girl, with nothing but her lace front to bring. So we're going to get into this new trailer, courtesy of the Jasmine brand, girl. Now, I have not watched Basketball Wives. I have not watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have not watched Married to Medicine. I have not watched all of these shows in years. I am literally seasons behind. And I only really see the little things that pop up here and there, girl, on social media when something is going down on the show. I've just kind of grown out of these reality shows. Most of us grew up with these people. We've been watching these people since our 20s, you know, since we were, you know, young and whorish, girl. And a lot of us are just trying to afford a carton of eggs at this point, while these hoes is still pulling each other's clip-on ponytails out of their motherfucking head. Okay, so, you know, we have been needing these ladies of all the franchises to kind of grow up with us because, you know, we're different people. We're in different places. And honestly, you know, none of these shows are really changing the wheel. They're not moving the needle. It's literally just the same regurgitated, petty, toxic, feminine energy that is being replicated season to season to season. You're either fighting over a man or fighting because of a damn man. All right, same shit, different day. What's going on, Shawnee? Hey, baby mother Ken. Hey, love. What's going on, young Stacy? Hey, Jacqueline. What's going on, y'all? So let's go ahead and get into this season 12 trailer. And you guys tell me what you guys think. We are going to talk a little bit about this situation between Evelyn and her ex-bestie, Miss Jennifer Williams, girl, who got it going on with her new piece of pain, honey. Her new piece of criminal thieving ass pain, allegedly, child.
I am a married woman. I'm sure.
Girl. And I'm glad the next edit was you drinking the liqueur down, girl. Because the way you even had to believe that, girl, the way you had to say that, girl, and then click the liqueur, girl, the way you had to announce your engagement and swallow down the Hennessy and the vodka of it all, girl. Yes, God.
About 30 carats. Chomp, chomp. There were stories coming out about Christian being a scammer, but she got married to this fool. She's dumb as oh my God. Now that my daughter Chantel is here, hopefully we'll get to spend a lot more time together. We have to have boundaries. And if we don't, I'm out of here. I don't get a key. What? Being Muslim was never on my bingo card, but I come in peace till I don't. I want to hear her next. Now, I am Ming Lee. I'm Tai Young. I never was trying to be with nobody else. Your phone record says differently. Who is Shonda? In my phone.
Okay, girl, they got an old nasty piece of domestic violence situation going on with the lesbians on the show, child. Shout out to Basketball Wives for being pro-lesbian, child. You know, it was conversations around whether Real Housewives of Atlanta need to, you know, spice it up and, you know, maybe put a trans woman and her partner on the show, or, you know, put a trans man and his partner on the show, girl, like get an old nasty, same gender lover, carpet munching couple over there on the Real Housewives, girl. Okay, just get real rainbowish over there, child. That would be cute and interesting to see. Okay, maybe Queen Latifah and her bitch can pooch on down to the Housewives, child. Who else is a lesbian out here in these streets, girl? Okay, you know, Keke Palmer says she on the bisexual side, child. Maybe she can pooch on down to the Housewives and spice that up with a glam and a little tea. Who else is a lesbian out here, girl? It's a lot of lesbians out here, girl, who doing the damn thing, girl. Ellen can bring her interracial lesbian relationship down there to the Housewives, honey. I know some of these folk are kind of out of Real Housewives of Atlanta pay grade, but maybe if they get some of these, you know, high earning, hyper visible, famous, coochie eating women down there to the Housewives who already have an exceptional degree of fame, they might can spike the ratings, girl, and then them girls can stop getting paid in Bitcoin and gowns and start making that $1 million salary like they was doing a few seasons ago. But that's probably another story for another goddamn day, girl. Let's continue to forge ahead in this trailer.
Go time. Now is the time to address elephants in the room. I am a married woman. I'm chewing on about 30. We're not going to make this about Christian.
I get it, that's your man or whatever, but sometimes a mother bring you down.
I know this is Christian.
Tell your man to stop stealing money, stop being a storyline.
Wow.
I don't know where we go from here. Honestly, Evelyn is the worst out of all of them.
I want to slap the shit out of her sometimes.
Ooh, girl. Where is this sisterhood that y'all speak of? You can go to hell too, baby. Don't do that. It went from 0 to 200 flat. I'm excited, but you know what? I'm gonna need a drink.
And so are we.
For real, for once in your life. You're lucky y'all been sitting here entertaining me. Do you hear yourself? Stop it. Look how you look as a mother.
Oh, girl, this is not funny. You know, I'm laughing at the background music, girl. But girl, the way I was not expecting Jackie to swing on her daughter with an immediate right hook, as if Chantel was Malaysia running down on Doug for a second date, girl. The way that it appears that Jackie just punched Chantel so hard that she's going to have now 2 dark-skinned daughters, because I'm sure the area and the ring around Chantel's eye, girl, is giving very much so dark-skinned African-American at that point, girl. Okay, girl, the way that right hook looked like it was set up, girl, can somebody go check on Chantel and see if this lady is even still amongst the living, girl? Because I'm just trying to make it make sense. Now, let's talk about it for a little bit. I mean, I don't know who Chantel thought she was putting her fingers, you know, on her mama. I'm not sure. Let me ask y'all. Y'all saw the clip just now. Do y'all think Chantel was meaning to be aggressive, or was she just trying to like stop her mama? Because it looked like a stop and a shove, girl. It looked like a 2-for-1 point of contact, girl. She was trying to stop her from walking away, but then also wanted her mammy to feel what the side of that wall felt like and shoved her motherfucking ass right into it, girl. Was it given like I need my ass beat type of a touch? Or do y'all think Chantel didn't mean no harm, no foul when she put her hands on her crazy ass mammy? Okay, Teresa says that she was aggressive, girl. Wow. Wow. Well, you know, I can't be mad, baby. Okay, we grew up with the old saying, child, that if I brought you into the world, girl, a swift right hook will take you immediately up out of here, girl. So it's gonna be going down. I'm sure Jackie's dark-skinned daughter is somewhere feeling completely vindicated. Okay, seeing her favorite sister and her pedestalized sister in her mother's eyes now at odds with the crazy demon known as Jackie, girl. Will Chantel be coming out with a tell-all as well? Will she finally be dropping the tea on her mother? You know, she always, one thing I can say about Chantel is kind of messy. She is kind of male-identified in press boots. We are not going to forget, girl, her trying to turn a storyline and make a storyline out of Drea and Drea's man at the time, because apparently Drea's man at some point in time might have had a little bit of a minuscule of a part-time thing with Drea's man. And Chantel was trying to act like, girl, them people was in a whole relationship when, according to Drea and her man at the time, girl, Chantel was just a pass-around girl. She just got ran through by the football field, and he just happened to be one of the football players, girl. It was no engagement. She never met the parents. It was no I love yous exchange, girl. It wasn't nothing but a nut-busting opportunity, child. It was so embarrassing. However, outside of Chantel's own bobbleheadedness, what I can say about her is she's kind of like always checked her mother. She's always kind of acted and positioned herself as her mom's accountability partner. I do love that. I remember the conversation that who Chantel had spoke to. Was it Laura? When Chantel and Laura had sat down on a past season of Basketball Wives, and Chantel filled Laura in on how Jackie treated, her sister. Now some people can argue, girl, Chantel was stepping outside her bounds, girl, by communicating with the ops and all that. Now, let me say this, even if I'm at odds with my people, honey, I ain't gonna sit up with no ops and talk shit about my people. If I want to take it upon myself and with my own platform, in the confinement of my own books and my own live streams, to talk about my people, I will. But I wouldn't dare sit up with my grandmama's ops or my great uncle's op. I just ain't gonna do none of that. So I'm also guessing, how long has Chantel had some pent up resentment toward her mother, girl? Because she's always kind of been tiptoeing, always kind of been, not even tiptoeing, girl, like kind of cross-cutting it when it comes to her mother. So this is going to be very interesting to see play out. But what I really want to talk about is,
we're not going to make
this here, Jennifer and Evelyn's friendship. I find this whole thing going on between Evelyn and Jennifer to be so weird, considering that the tables have definitely turned in their situation. Check this out one more time.
Christian. I get it, that's your man or whatever, but sometimes a mother bring you down. Oh, this is tell him to stop feeling lying, stop being a storyline.
Okay, now for those of you who don't know, girl, Jennifer got married to Christian Gold. Christian Gold, girl, is a whole hot mess. You guys have to follow attorney Simone Redwine on YouTube. She is representing some of the alleged victims of Christian Gold's trading company, which is really being called a Ponzi scheme. And there have been now statements brought forth to the FBI by those alleged victims. And now apparently there's a federal investigation into this fraud regarding Jennifer's husband's now new man that she met on a rooftop, courtesy of one of her good Judies. Girl, it's a mess. Okay. Now, you guys also know that he had to seek permission to actually attend their destination wedding overseas because Christian was actually on probation following an incident between him and an ex-girlfriend when he was like, 19 or 20, where apparently he held her hostage in their apartment. He wouldn't let her go. It followed an altercation. She allegedly tried to escape from the balcony of the apartment, which I believe was 3 stories, and apparently fell below onto the concrete driveway, and she broke both of her legs, etc. Christian was charged. He did time. He had to pay restitution. He had to end up on probation. And because he's on probation from said situation, he did not report his travels to and fro the United States. I think at one point he was Georgia-based, but then he was traveling to LA and Atlanta, and not LA and Atlanta, but from Georgia to LA and other parts of the United States, and also traveling overseas in order to get things situated for their wedding, girl. The probational officer fucking found out about this from Jennifer Williams' Instagram page because she all outside, girl, with her man, not knowing, child, that underneath his wife beater is an orange jumpsuit, child. So she out there just living her life with her man. And inadvertently, girl, alerting the Fed. So, he had to deal with all that. They did apprehend his ass. He did have to seek permission to attend his wedding. The judge allowed it, gave him a certain amount of time that he could be overseas and do his honeymoon. Then he would have to come back into the States and pretty much go back to jail and do his 30 days, etc., girl. So now it looks like all of that is continuing to play out because she got married last season. Now she is married this season. And it looks like a part of Evelyn's storyline is going to be having contention with Jennifer over all of Jennifer's issues with her current ninja. Now, what I find to be very hypocritical about both Evelyn and Jennifer's attitude toward each other around a no good ninja is that it was like shy of a decade ago that Jennifer was the one in Evelyn's position, and Evelyn was in Jennifer's position. Remember when around season something, girl, Evelyn was dating Chad Ochocinco, and Jennifer did not approve. She felt like Chad was a hoe because he was. That's why Evelyn had to give Chad permission, to pretty much have community dick because she knew she couldn't beat the community dick, girl. So she just had to find a way to regulate it instead because she could not stop the phenomenon known as the community peen of Chad Ochocinco. Okay? And Jennifer was just like, girl, you just came out of dating these athletes. You know they do what's wrong. You know they ain't no good. I had to divorce my no good ass athlete, girl. You know what comes with these people, child. Why are we making the same mistakes twice? And then apparently Jennifer had did an interview at that time on a radio show, and her words came back to bite her, because while the Basketball Wives girls were on an overseas group trip, Evelyn got wind of the transcript of the interview that Jennifer did. And Jennifer was pretty much just giving her very raw thoughts about the relationship, about Chad being a hoe, and etc. And of course, because Evelyn is so male identified and was completely digmatized, she, went to putting on her mammy cape and standing in the gap for her fiance, and cussed Jennifer ass clean the fuck out, almost threw her ass over a balcony, almost took that big ass, 92-inch widescreen forehead, baby, and gorilla bashed Jennifer all up in her shit, girl. Tammy had to be out there on the balcony with parachutes, girl, and tight ropes and all type of trampolines and shit at the bottom of the goddamn hotel they was in, girl, just prepared for the death of Jennifer Williams. Child, it was a whole hot mess. And if you guys need a more formal breakdown of that situation, girl, let's refer to Miss RollingOut.com, who actually did an old nasty write-up at the time, girl, that the season was smoking hot. Jennifer Williams talks falling out with Evelyn Lozada, 6 other famous friendship, blah, blah, blah. Basketball Wives viewers got to see the friendship between co-stars Jennifer Williams and Evelyn Lozada nearly crumble under Williams' criticism of Lozado's fiance, Chad Ocho. And though things were seemingly patched up between the two back then, fans are now learning that Williams and Lozada are no longer speaking to each other, according to Williams. During a recent interview with radio personality TT Torres, Williams discussed the upcoming season of Basketball Wives and explained that fans shouldn't expect any friendly screen time between her and Lozada. Quote, "As far as our friendship, yeah, we are definitely not on speaking terms," said Williams of Lozada. Earlier this month, rumors swirled that Williams was involved in a physical altercation with Lozada, whom she allegedly hit in the head with a handbag, while at castmate Shawnee O'Neal's birthday party. Quote, "I don't think I can confirm or deny," and we know that did happen. We saw her give Jennifer a corporate bash to the head with the Coach bag, girl. Williams said of the rumors, "I think anybody that has tuned into the season, hold on, I don't even want to read all that." While Williams remained mum about the alleged fight, she does claim that part of the reason she and Lozada are on bad terms is because of her feisty co-star insulting online jabs against her, girl. So remember, this was a whole thing, girl, okay? Evelyn was feeling very betrayed. She was feeling such a way, like, you're my girl, you should have my back, you should practically just be happy for me. So I find it interesting that Lozada can't even keep the same energy that she was expecting Jennifer Williams to keep when it was her time to walk down the aisle with a trifling, no good ninja who ended up cracking her and her shit in the end, real? Okay? Jennifer ended up being a little bit more than right about Chad at the end.
I don't know where we go from here.
Of the damn day. I also find Jennifer's reaction to Evelyn's sentiment just as hypocritical, because at the time she wanted Evelyn to understand, girl, that I'm just being a friend and I don't feel like I should have to yes man you. And I feel like if I, have concerns or whatever, that, you should really respect that and understand that it's coming from a place of love. So it's interesting how the tables have turned. And one thing about them tables, baby, is that they always gonna turn. So Evelyn has an opportunity to do it differently than she did it when she was in Jennifer's shoes. And Jennifer has an opportunity to do it differently now that she's on the opposite end of where Evelyn was when the situation was in reverse. But instead, the both of them are giving each other equal smoke, girl, in the same situation, which is over a no good ninja. If I was Evelyn, girl, at this point, because none of them have a track record of picking a solid dude, I would just avoid the whole relationship conversation altogether, girl. Like, that'll just be the part of the friendship that I just would be very emotionally disconnected to. I got friends in my life right now who are the Evelyns and Jennifers of my social circle, girl, who just have a habitual pathology of attracting and investing in all of the wrongest ninjas. And at this point, to keep from going to jail over them hoes or with them hoes, I just stay out of the relationship part of their life, girl. I don't be asking no questions. I don't be asking how they ninja doing, girl. I don't even be like leaning into the conversation in such a way that it makes my friend feel comfortable even talking to me about they toxic ass shit, girl. I just completely emotionally, mentally check out of that part of some of my people's lies, because I don't got time to be going through what Evelyn and Jennifer are going through every time either one of them pick another piece of no good trifling ping. So overall, the season looks like I'll give it maybe a 6 out of 10, girl. Feel like we've honestly seen this before. Same shit, different day. I can't say that I will be watching this season, but I'll keep a part-time eye out on this season. And if we need to come back later on and give commentary because interesting things worth talking about happening in the season can be talked about, you know, such as toxic mother-to-daughter relationships, dynamics between friends and romantic relationships and all that, and we'll do all that, all right? Moving along. Speaking of relationships crashing and burning, girl, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama have been rumored for a while to be going through a very secret, private divorce. Now, Radar Online, I don't know whether they're on payroll for the Trump administration, girl, but their obsession in particularly with the Obamas is given very much so my daughter, my hamburger, girl. It's given very much so Dangerous Minds, girl. Like, Radar Online got me looking at them as a blog as a total freaking op to the damn Obamas, girl. It is like every freaking day these people are claiming, because of their quote-unquote sources, girl, that Michelle and Obama are sleeping in different rooms. Michelle and Obama are going through a secret divorce. They're linking up with this, that, and the third, girl. I'm just like, girl, just let us know that the Trump administration check did clear. It's okay. Okay? Because the relentlessness of it all is insane, girl, okay? I wouldn't even be mad, girl, if Radar Online finally get that cease and desist, girl, finally get that old nasty piece of process server to serve them up an old nasty civil lawsuit, baby. I would not even be surprised, girl. However, as the old saying goes, where there is smoke, there is some degree of fire. So, Michelle Obama recently came out and spoke about the fact that, you know, her marriage to Barack is in an interesting place. No, they're not divorcing. However, you know, she's working through things. She's been through a lot. You guys may know that Michelle, basically what I've taken from it, feels very traumatized by being a first lady. And apparently she didn't even really want to go into that space. Because, you know, she already know what it was going to give. You know, she got daughters, she got children. She know also that her husband was pretty much going to be the groom of America first and her husband second. And I can definitely understand all of the concerns and fears and apprehensions that Michelle might have had, knowing that this was going to be a big sacrifice and take a big toll on her family. You know, her daughters were going to have to kind of really conform and just really kind of amputate themselves for the sake of the fact that they are now going to be a high profile family, you know, and it was just going to be a lot of rigmarole in and out, a lot of responsibility, just a massive undertaking for them. And because that experience was definitely over the top, The country was going through a lot. Her husband and her children were put through a lot. Michelle came out of that experience, girl, completely burnt the fuck out, especially for someone who didn't want that to begin with. However, she loved her husband, and, you know, she eventually bowed down. She got with the shit show. And now, girl, Michelle says she's in hibernation mode. And she definitely also wanted to kind of dispel the divorce rumors that are going on around her marriage. So this is what Michelle had to say, courtesy of Neighborhood Talk. Let me actually refresh this. Check this out, child.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama speaking out, shutting down the rumors that had been out there that she and her husband of 32 years, former President Obama, are getting divorced. And those rumors took off after former President Obama attended Jimmy Carter's funeral by himself, and then days later attended Trump's inauguration also alone.
We, as women, I think we struggle with like disappointing people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so much so that this year people were, you know, they couldn't even fathom that I was making a choice for myself, that they had to assume that my husband and I are divorcing. You know, that this couldn't be a grown woman just making a set of decisions for herself.
Period.
Right. But that's what society does to us.
Former First Lady appearing to reference her decision to skip these high-profile events, saying, quote, "I chose to do what was best for me, not what I thought other people wanted me to do." Former First Lady.
Okay, so pretty much that was Michelle's very classy way of telling you whores to mind y'all motherfucking business, stay up off her motherfucking marriage. She ain't going no motherfucking where, and recognize a motherfucking bad bitch when you see one, hoe, because she ain't no idealistic ass woman. Like any other relationship, if she decides to sit her ass at home, if she decides to pooch around in her waist trainer and her thong, girl, because, you know, it's that time of the month, bitch, she will. She don't feel the need to be up her ninja's ass. She ain't no male identified ass bitch. So, you know, she is very secure in what she has. She ain't worried about Obama, you know, making lemonade out of none of these hoes. Girl, okay, this is what a secure woman who got autonomy and agency looks like, girl, okay? I love the way that Michelle just kind of really tied that up so beautifully, girl. Like, why it gotta be all this and that instead of it just being a grown woman choosing to stay her motherfucking ass home, girl, okay? Miss me with the buffoonery. Now, Michelle has also been in other interviews also talking about the way that, you know, their time in office impacted her. And, you know, how she's just unpacking her experience. And shout out to Barack for being such a man. Because I think this is such a well-balanced marriage in terms of their psychology and how they really accommodate each other's humanity. Something that I feel like really gets lost in the sauce in today's relationships, which are very heavily revolved around like hyper romanticism, hyper idealism, and it really removes the reality from relationships that at the end of the day, bitch, we're people. And I may need a break, girl, even in a serious relationship. It don't mean I don't love you. It don't mean I don't fuck with you. But it just means, girl, I'm human. I got a brain. I got high cholesterol, girl. I got a liver, girl. And she just needs a break, girl. Like, I just need to lovingly, you know, sit down for a minute. And when we can be in relationships to people who understand that, people who don't personally internalize that and make that about them, they don't start feeling away. They actually understand, once again, girl, you're human, I'm human, you know, and we make space in our romance and in our relationship to each other to just be fucking human, girl. This is the reality of relationships. And this is mature relationshiping. Oh, this is, you know, that real good shit that lifelong interpersonal relationships are truly made out of. That beautiful thing called understanding. We oftentimes fixate when it comes to romantic relationships on the love, and then we minor in the understanding, girl. Love and understanding. The understanding of it all, girl. The understanding of what you sacrificed in order to give me what you gave me, honey. The fact that I'm going to honor you down boots, okay, for stepping up for me at a time where you are going to struggle to do so. The fact that you put your own preferences aside. Oh yes, I'm gonna pay you back in the holy matrimony, girl, of being patient with you when we finally make it through this part of a situation I asked you to join me in, and you honored me in doing that. So you damn right. You know, I'm going to be at your feet after this. I'm going to fuck around and serve you after this. Okay, whatever you need after this. You know, it's that give and take and reciprocity of it all. So the fact that Barack is being a whole man and he understands that his woman understood the assignment, and now she has and needs time to come down off that assignment and to reclaim her personal identity, girl. And she may need some personal space. And, you know, he's honoring that. He is allowing that. He's encouraging that. He's green lighting that. Because he knows that if she's good for herself, she's going to be even better for me, for us, for our family. This is going to make our relationship stronger. I shouldn't push against this. I shouldn't resist this. I shouldn't make this about me. I shouldn't be terrorizing her with all my fears, etc. Girl, just simply trust her the way she trusted me when I asked her to be the motherfucking first lady of the whole United States of the goddamn universe, baby. Okay? The way that she had to cope, she had to deal, she had to stand strong, girl. I'm going to return that to her in her time of regrouping and recalibrating, girl. I love to see it. So my takeaway, y'all, from this situation with Obama and Michelle is please create relationships, whether platonically, whether romantically, that encompasses your humanity. Okay? You have to realize you're not in a relationship to an object. You're in a relationship to a person, a biological person. People have feelings, people have seasons, people have emotions, and you will get further in relationships by humanizing each other more so than idealizing one another. What's going on, The Real K? Hey, boo. Hey, y'all. What's going on, Miss Mac? All right, so shout out to Obama. Moving on. Real Housewives of Atlanta got it going on, girl. Y'all know that we just had a live stream, day before yesterday, girl, covering the Kenya Moore, Britt Eady situation, girl, the pistol and whips versus the alleged revenge corn that led to the termination and immediate eviction of Kenya Miss Moore, girl, from this season, girl. It's been going down ever since the first 3 episodes have rolled out. We finally got to see that Kenya lied to us. She indeed did show inappropriate pictures of Miss Britt Eady, which she initially denied. And we also got to learn that Britt Eady lied, who initially denied making references to her GUN, to her motherfucking Glock, to her little piece of steel. All right. Since that has happened, we've also learned that Cynthia Bailey and Kenya Moore, who have a friendship, have not spoken since the actual scene. They have not had a personal outing. And that, you know, Cynthia believes that Kenya definitely is wanting space, or maybe even feels away, because Sin was very vocal to Kenya about the fact that she was dead ass wrong for showing our girls pictures, okay? Now, there's been other housewives who have chimed in about things. We know that Toya from Married to Medicine chimed in, you know, as it relates to Britt, and said, girl, I'm not understanding how she was able to make those statements when I couldn't even play with a toy GUN, a water GUN, in a scene between me and my kids on Bravo, okay? Now, you guys know we already done unpacked the Britt Eady situation. Britt never showed a GUN. She referenced the GUN, and producers were not pressed about her references because everybody had been searched coming into the event, including Britt. So they knew she did not have a GUN, and she did not make a direct threat. She didn't say, bitch, I will oot you. She just made references, girl, about the fact that she has the capacity to protect herself if need be, child. Okay, whole shit show. Well, Britt Eady has went on to do interviews, and Nene Leakes has entered the group chat as well, girl. So check out Britt Eady who seemingly takes accountability for her controversial pistol comment on Real Housewives of Atlanta, says that Kenya never apologized to her after sharing explicit images, but she would be open to moving forward if she did. Quote, I'm just disappointed how Kenya's been handling it, being a victim. Thumbs up, you guys, and share.
Remorseful about bringing up the pistol of it all and all that.
I should have never done that, and I make mistakes. I was in a moment, you know, I was triggered, and I did something that I wish I could take back, but what she did was a million times worse. So there's no way you can go around and play the victim now. And I would think that if we want to move forward, come to me, apologize, humble yourself, and I would be open, but that has not taken place. So I'm just disappointed how she's been handling it and being a victim. And, you know, it's just been a lot of noise. And that's why I've been quiet, because sometimes you just have to wait it out and see what people naturally do. And I'm just disappointed in her behavior. And even just, you know, she went on different shows. I apologize, but I'm the one that's owed the apology. Not every.
You were remorseful.
Okay, now to Britt's point, girl. We know that Kenya Moore cried on Sherri Shepherd's couch, girl. Cried in Sherri Shepherd's church titties, child. But to Britt's point, girl, did you show Sherri Shepherd's alleged explicit pictures, or did you share mine? Did you share Andy Cohen's alleged inappropriate pictures, or did you share mine's, girl? Why are you making an apology about the situation in these general spaces in front of other people, girl, and you haven't pulled up with and on me with the direct AOL, with the direct, you know, hey, what's going on, sis? You know, I'm sorry. So Britt, you know, is on Kenya's ass, and, you know, she would be open, allegedly, to moving past the situation if Kenya postured herself with a bit more humility and was being direct and not being a puss. All right?
Everyone else. And the things that she said, you know, it's there forever. And I have to live with that, with my family, with my husband, with my career. And I think at the very least, I'm owed an apology. Everyone else. Hey, baby.
All right. Now, things have gotten even more interesting, girl, because Portia, who also, like Cynthia, was not supportive of Kenya's behavior, was not supportive of Kenya, you know, putting these explicit images on display at Kenya's event. Nobody signed up for that. Nobody attended, you know, her event to see that. A lot of people walked out. But Portia went even further after a clip from her review of the episode on her YouTube channel, then kind of circulated on the blogs. And she made some statements regarding the situation in that YouTube clip. And Kenya responded to that clip by saying, absolutely no one on the show gave me anything. Stop using my situation for clicking interview bait, okay? Because Portia had practically alluded to the fact that someone had given Kenya these pictures. I believe it was another cast member, or it was another woman in the industry. I forgot the name of that woman, y'all. However, Portia responded, girl, and said, that's a lie. We talked day and night, and I personally went to the network and production and fought for you before you showed her underage explicit pics. I also went after as well because I was hurt that you had to leave. I checked on you because I cared and care. I am not your enemy, Miss USA. Okay, so that was a mouthful. Portia is refuting the fact that, you know, Kenya did not receive it. Kenya allegedly claimed that her private investigators did it, but it's now being speculated, girl, who the person was that gave Kenya those explicit images of Britt And Portia seemingly confirms it, claps back. And remember, when we had reported on this situation, it was being alluded to that the images of Brit were from when she was 16 years old. I think that brings to home even more why Bravo had to, walk Kenya on out the back door. Apparently, there also was a settlement between Brit and the network because Brit apparently, I knew she had threatened legal action, but apparently she actually took legal action and the matter was resolved, I believe, outside of court. So, if the images already being bad enough that it was revenge porn, which is a federal crime, it is illegal. Revenge porn is actionable with gross fines as well as jail and prison time. And revenge porn covers any explicit image that you show of another person without their consent and with malicious intent, which checks all of the boxes in Kenya Moore's case. So literally, Brit could be pressing the Gaius on Kenya Moore's ass. She could have got a lot more, girl, than getting booted from this season of Housewives. And even the way that Bravo kind of narrated Kenya's exit was just in the spirit of she's going to be sat out for this season. More than likely, Kenya asked to come pooching back through the door, maybe introduced as a friend of the show, maybe season after next, and then eventually integrated into being a full-on cast member because Housewives is just not going to hold up without Kenya. The show was already falling apart. The views were already tanking. They really cannot afford to get rid of their OGs who are the nucleus to these season's child. So I don't see them being completely rid of Kenya. And more than likely, when they do bring Kenya back, Brit ass will be long gone. Brit ass might not even make it to see a season 2 after her season 1, especially since the fans are saying she gives more love and hip hop, girl. She gives more ratchety. She gives more. She's just not a likable character. People just are not feeling like Brit is translating well on the show. But I think because of what took place, I can see Bravo giving her one more season, girl, just to make sure that they done put up a hot iron to this whole issue with Brit and Bravo and Kenya and these pics, girl. What's going on, Otta on the go? Hey. So there's a lot going on there. Now, well, let me just play the clip.
There's a housewife still on the show right now who gave Kenya that nude information. No, I'm going to expose that. Everybody needs to know who she is. That was crazy to me. There's a housewife.
Okay, wow. So everybody tried to have Kenya back initially, girl. They ran to production, girl. They tried to stop this shit, girl. They wanted Kenya to have a job because, once again, everybody else know, girl, that this is a ensemble cast, girl. And even if we don't like each other, even if bitches are secretly jealous of each other and envious of each other, it seems like they all at this point understand, girl, that this is a ensemble cast. It's not a one-woman show, and that we need each other, girl. We need each other to be the villains, to be the bad guys, to be the good guys, to be the victims, and all, girl. So, they tried to talk Kenya off the ledge, but Kenya had went forth, girl, to give this woman more motive to oot her ass after claiming that she was so scared of the lady as a result of the ooting references, girl. And people do have to logically ask themselves, what type of person who is shook up and scared of a bitch popping them chooses to further antagonize somebody who might, in fact, pull out a pretty pistol one day and send them on to the Holy Father, the Holy Son, and the damn Holy Daughter of it all. Now, while Kenya and Portia got it going on and are at complete odds over the situation, Miss Nene Leakes decided to repost a old clip of Kenya speaking on Nene being phased out of Real Housewives of Atlanta and it's seemingly shading Kenya like, ha ha, this didn't age well. Remember when, you know, you thought it was a cackle for me to be phased out of Real Housewives, and now look at you, honey, struggling with that watered down ass hair conditioner and shampoo you out there selling at the local Food Lion, girl. So check out this clip that Nene reposted.
Just very clear. Either the network feels that you're still a valuable asset on the show, or they don't, and you're replaced or phased out, and you just clearly means that the network is sending you a message. You're not as important as you think you are. The message is very clear. Either the network feels that you're still a valuable asset on the show, or they don't, and you're replaced or phased out, and you just...
Now here's the gag. What Kenya said is all facts, girl. Nobody is bigger than the brand. No matter how grandiose the girls are personally, girl, none of them essentially are bigger than the brand in and of itself. But the gag is about Nene resharing Kenya in an interview talking about, you know, Nene's not bigger than the machine, girl. She's not bigger than the plight. Is Nene herself also ended up in a situation where her words also came back to bite her ass. Because remember several years ago when Nene Leakes pulled up on a Watch What Happens live after show and spoke about the controversy going on between Phaedra and Portia and Candy over the alleged dungeon of it all, girl, over the alleged assaulting of it all, you know, in the dungeon, the lies, the more motherfucking lies. And remember, girl, when Nene came on and basically spoke about how, you know, Phaedra and Portia definitely need to go, that they're stanking up the place, they're ghettoing up the brand, girl, okay, and that she would definitely pick those two to get rid of. I was trying to find that original clip, but I couldn't find it, but I found the follow-up show that Nene came back on because Portia had responded to Nene, you know, trying to get her off of the show or saying, you know, she should be fired. And Nene caught herself, girl, coming back, playing semantics, and trying to act like she didn't say what she said because she didn't use the exact phraseology and terminology of fired. So check this out. Matter of fact, we're going to do this on audio style because, girl, I don't know how Andy be doing over there with Miss What Happens Live, but this is fair use. And listen to what Nene had to say.
Portia kept saying that I said I wanted her to be fired.
Right.
And I made it very clear to her, I never use those words. First of all, when we're on your show, you have callers that call in.
They called in and said who should be fired.
They said, who would you get rid of?
Who would you get rid of?
And I said,
Frick and fraud.
Frick and fraud. Okay, whatever their name is, freak and fraud. That's what I said.
Okay.
So I never used those words. So let's be very, very clear about what was said. Now, we're all on this show to give our opinions, are we not?
Yes.
And so when my fans or my followers call in to ask me questions, I'm going to answer.
Okay, well, Nene, you should have kept that same energy, baby. When Kenya was called to an interview to give her opinion and to give her thoughts about you being allegedly phased out of the season. And I find it interesting that you think you're gagging Kenya over being phased out when, girl, you made similar comments about Phaedra and Portia, and Portia still on the show while you're the one phased out. And Phaedra is making a comeback to Housewives, and you're still not on the show. You're still waiting on Bravo to call you. You're still waiting on Housewives to call you, girl. So it's like an alley-oop for an alley-oop for an alley-oop, girl, where it's like, all y'all should just be quiet, bitch, because all y'all done been wrong. All y'all done been shady as hell. None of y'all are per se fucking victims, and Kenya can equally argue, girl, that you got phased out as a result of your ill intent and feelings and jealousy, girl, towards some of your own female cast members, such as Phaedra and Miss Portia, girl. It's a whole hot mess, y'all. So, I'm sure this shit will continue to play out on the onlines. I'll keep you guys updated as the story develops. Because speaking of interpersonal drama, girl, Wendy Williams got it going on, but her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, got even more damn going on, child, courtesy of the Jasmine brand. Wendy's ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, suffers legal setback in $7 million wrongful termination case against the Wendy Williams show producers. What's going on, Todd? Kevin Hunter, the ex-husband of Wendy Williams, recently suffered a major legal setback, according to court documents obtained by In Touch on April 8th. The United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit overturned a previous legal victory for Hunter, which allowed his $7 million wrongful termination lawsuit against former Wendy Williams show producers to proceed to a higher court. Hunter initially sued DeMar Mercury in 2023, arguing that the production company had no legal grounds to terminate his contract as a producer on the Wendy Williams show after Wendy filed for divorce in 2019. He claimed his job was protected under the New York law and that the company did not consider his contribution to the success of the show. DeMar Mercury denied the claim in court, stating that his job was not, in fact, covered under New York law, which prohibits employers from discriminating against employees based on their marital status or whether they are married. They argued the law doesn't prevent someone from being terminated due to their marriage to a specific individual. In September 2023, the federal judge ruled in favor of Hunter, allowing the case to proceed, asserting that his termination due to his pending divorce from Williams constituted marital discrimination. The judge also denied DeMar Mercury's request to dismiss the case. Following the ruling, the producers appealed the decision, leading to the Second Circuit's decision to vacate the case and return it to a lower court, overturning the dismissal motion. The lower court will now look at the case for further proceedings. Okay, girl? So producers are pushing back, girl, against broke-ass Kevin Hunter, girl, who fell apart following his infidelity and following the dissolving of his marriage, girl. Y'all know that man had to sell all his foreign cars, had to sell his goddamn multi-million-dollar ass home, girl. He also apparently lost his relationship to his side bitch. You know, allegedly had to start swinging and selling bussy and peen on the back page of Craigslist, girl. Maybe he got the peen now on the back pages of eBay, girl. Maybe the community dick is being sold on Amazon. Maybe with Prime, you can get that community peen, you know, shipped to you overnight if that's how you like it, girl. Get a little piece of Wendy up in you as well, girl. He probably still got Wendy's DNA on the tip of his motherfucking head of his peen, child. It's just been a whole hot mess. Kevin, go and get a job, sir. The gig is up, girl. You're washed. You've been rinsed, girl. It's never going to happen again. It's really wild that you and Wendy are getting y'all's asses whipped. It only makes me think, girl, what have y'all done together? Because whatever it is, girl, y'all did together, girl, it must have been on the most demonic of levels, girl, because the way that karma is simultaneously gathering you and her, I can't even unsee it. I cannot unsee it, girl. The fact that both of y'all lives have fallen apart. The fact that both of y'all's property, intellectual property, and y'all finances have dissolved or been put in a chokehold, or y'all have been separated, y'all have been divided, y'all have been kept out of y'all own accounts, girl. The fact that y'all both equally got money issues, girl. Y'all got a quality of life issues going on, girl. The dual karmic debt is insane, girl. I mean, we rarely see manifestations like this when it comes to karmic metaphysics, child. But how eerily ironic and convenient is it for Wendy and Kevin to be going through life-altering circumstances, to be in a situation where they both crying broke, to be having money issues, girl. I mean, this is really, really interesting, girl. Okay, now as toxic as that relationship was, girl, it must be hella things we just don't know that have yet to be spoken to and spoken for, girl, that took place in the background of y'all lives, because karma is eating y'all asses ball, girl. Ball, girl. Y'all can see from this picture here, Kevin, girl, he ain't got a follicle in sight, girl. Okay? His pores have completely closed, baby. There's no hope for a new hairline at all, girl. He can't even grow the sides back, bitch. Okay, the universe has snatched him completely bald and left a spit shine in its motherfucking place, bitch. You better get into it, ho. Okay? Girl. So while Kevin Hunter, girl, is failing to reclaim his time, because what he felt to understand, girl, is that when he signed that Illuminati contract, girl, is that he was not going to be able to claim his motherfucking time. Wendy, on the other hand, ain't able to reclaim hers either, bitch, because recent updates on Wendy's guardianship situation entails that she was recently blocked from having a late night dinner with her niece and her new attorney. Apparently, girl, she was blocked up by her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, after it was allegedly reported by Sabrina Morrissey's attorney that Wendy could come and go as she pleases. You guys also know that it was also reported, courtesy of TMZ, that the judge had greenlit Wendy also being able to move out of the memory care facility and move into her own place. But Wendy has nonetheless remained in the memory care facility despite the alleged orders of the judge, girl. Well, things are even more interesting because the letter that allegedly put Wendy Williams under guardianship has finally been revealed, courtesy of the Shade Room. Exclusive details in the Wendy Williams guardianship case reveal that a psychiatrist letter allegedly played a key role in establishing her guardianship. Court records show that in 2022, before the guardianship was filed, Wendy's psychiatrist, Rami Kaminsky, wrote a letter to her financial advisor, Lori Schuyler. The letter stated that Wendy, who had been his patient for over a year, appeared unable to make reasoned decisions, with her insight and judgment described as severely impaired. The Shade Room. Let me see here. A source close to the situation tells the Shade Room that this letter submitted to Wells Fargo Bank was instrumental in the decision to establish guardianship, which stripped Wendy of her rights and isolated her from her loved ones. The source believes the letter reflects the premeditated effort to undermine Wendy's incompetence. Quote, "These two sentences from a doctor shouldn't be enough to take away someone's rights. This document should never have been shared with a financial advisor or a bank," the source told TSR. It was further revealed that the guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, was appointed from the start rather than being selected from a list of court-appointed guardians. The source claims that when Wendy attempted to fire her financial advisor and manager, guardianship was used as a form of manipulation. They believe the two were working together, as the manager was later arrested for using Wendy's credit card without her permission. All right. Now here's that letter, girl. Short, sweet, and to the point. As you guys see here, addressed to Wells Fargo. "Dear Ms. So-and-so, Ms. Williams has been my patient over a year now. Over the last 6 months, she has been unable to make reasoned decisions, and her insight and judgment are severely impaired. Sincerely, Wendy, psychiatrist." Wow. Now, this is crazy because, yes, I'm asking the same thing, girl. Did the psychiatrist break HIPAA laws? I'm not sure this was legal. And as you guys know from our deep dives into the Wendy Williams guardianship situation, that the Wendy Williams guardianship situation is very convoluted. It has a lot of moving parts. It's not a single narrative at work. It's a jambalaya of poop, girl. Okay? We know that from the court records and documents, and now Wendy's own testimony in her recent TMZ documentary, that Wells Fargo initially did escalate the situation, but it was, in fact, due to the fact that she was being exploited by her own son, Kevin Hunter Jr., who held her phone hostage while he was living with her in Miami, and while he was misappropriating, hundreds of thousands of dollars out of her account without her consent and without authorization. As a result of Wells Fargo not being able to get in contact with Wendy, they then went to the courts, and then this letter, coupled with other people from Wendy's family and from her community, joined forces with Wells Fargo because Wendy was struggling with her mental health and drug addiction. There was a lot of things going on just outside of the financial situation. Everybody was at their wits' ends and scared that Wendy was pretty much just going to die. She was going to be Whitney Houston girl and just found floating in a jacuzzi girl, unconscious. So they joined forces with Wells Fargo and presented their concerns to the judge. So this psychiatrist letter, coupled with Wells Fargo's findings in her being financially exploited, and Wendy's mental health and addiction circumstances at that time, it all culminated in the New York courts greenlighting a conservatorship for Wendy. All right. Now Wendy is fighting for her freedom. She does have a new lawyer. I'm sure that her lawyer is going to definitely, deal with this letter. If it does violate HIPAA, girl, her attorney is going to definitely use that to Wendy's advantage. And this may also act as a very important piece of the puzzle that may help in the dissolving of this situation, because Wendy is still also waiting on a medical evaluation by a medical personnel of her personal choosing. She doesn't want a medical personnel appointed by the courts or by Sabrina. She wants to be able to choose the doctor that is going to reevaluate her brain and decide if she's still living amongst frontotemporal dementia or not, because her frontotemporal dementia allegedly is connected to her alcoholism, and because of that, her frontotemporal dementia is reversible. So, it's a lot going on, girl. We're continuing to get bits and pieces and create the full view of how Wendy got into this very complicated, convoluted situation, child. All right. So we'll be keeping our eye out on Wendy, girl. Them people got a lot going on. Speaking of legal L's, my God, I don't know if you guys are aware, but rapper, Love and Hip Hop, reality star, Soulja Boy was in a litigation with a former girlfriend and assistant who had accused him of abuse over multiple years, and he was found liable for battery and sexual assault and now has to pay a whopping $4 million in damages to his ex-girlfriend, ex-assistant, child. As you guys can see here, journalist Megan Kunis reported total damages against Soulja Boy are just over $4 million. Jury did not find him liable for false imprisonment or hostile work environment, but he is liable for assault, sexual battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. All right. Neighborhood Talk writers write, neighbors get into this for the last few weeks. Soulja Boy has been in court for a civil lawsuit against him where a woman who was his ex-assistant turned lover accused him of sexual assault and battery. Well, now Soulja Boy has just been issued a major L with a jury finding him liable for assault, sexual battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. In 2021, Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against Soulja, claiming that for 2 years he raped and abused her. She alleges in December of 2018, just a month after she became his assistant that he allegedly sent her an unsolicited nude picture. Despite this, they eventually started seeing each other romantically. During that time, Soulja allegedly became violent with him, once allegedly pushing her out of the car and making her walk 5 miles. Then in February 2019, he allegedly actually assaulted her for the first time, sending her $1,000 as an apology. The disturbing lawsuit continued to detail the alleged abuse. Hold on, y'all. The scroll, girl, the scroll. The disturbing lawsuit continued to detail the alleged abuse the woman endured at the alleged hands of Soulja Boy. She alleges that he would punch, kick, and body slam her due to his jealousy and once threatened, quote, "I should have unalived you." She also claims he locked her in a room with no mattresses, food, or water on multiple occasions. She alleges that he would even actually assault her multiple times a day. The woman initially asked the courts to award her $73 million in damages. Quote, "He raped her, he punched her, he kicked her, he cut her, he pointed a Draco GUN at her, he locked her in her room, he told her, 'I hope you unalive slow.'" The woman's attorney, Ron Zambrano, told the jury, quote, "If you don't believe my client, don't give her $1. But if you do believe her, give her everything," on period. Ultimately, the jury decided to find him liable for assault, sexual battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The total damage amounts to $4 million. Woo, baby. Shout out to the ex-assistant ex-girlfriend, girl. His ex-girlfriend, Nia, also needs to enter the group chat and file her suit accordingly as well, because she was another previous lover of Soulja Boy. Their storyline played out over Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, I believe, and she has chronicled and made very similar allegations, girl, of sexual abuse, physical abuse. He allegedly punched her in the stomach, I believe, and caused her to miscarry, I think. You know, there's a mounting degree of allegations against Soulja Boy by the women in his life. So justice for all of the women that have been allegedly abused by Soulja Boy. I hope that she sees every red penny, and I hope that she also go and files criminally against his ass, and he has to deal on the back end with those issues as well. These type of men need to be absolutely apprehended and put away, because they're not also put away, because you can civilly sue and put criminal charges. I know a lot of people think that it's one over the other. It's not. You can civilly sue someone and also penalize them criminally too. And because Soulja Boy is not criminally dealt with, it allows him to still have the freedom and liberty to make victims out of other women, unfortunately. So I hope that beyond the civil victories, girl, that the state, the DA, or that he fucks around and finds out by doing the wrong thing to the right one, girl, and they hand him his whole motherfucking ass, civilly and criminally, girl, and reduce him to the mere ashes that he deserves to be reduced to. Because, you know, if not, there's going to be a harem of women who are going to continue, unfortunately, to endure abuse from Soulja Boy, you know, which is why there are so many testimonies from all of his previous lovers. What's going on, Sam? Hey, boo. Soulja has issues. He showed out in marriage boot camp on his girl, even Jessica Dime and her husband. Yep, we're about to whoop his motherfucking ass for being out of pocket. Absolutely. Island Girl says, I believe these women. Soulja has anger issues. I believe that Soulja got a lot of issues, girl. You know, and I'm going to revisit this story because we're going to come back later and talk about Neo's recent comments and his misogyny and patriarchy, girl, about how he obviously is in a polygamous relationship with 4 different women, girl, but he got them chained up and their asses can't be with no other man. They all got to ride. Well, they ain't got to because ain't nobody got a GUN to their head, girl. But, you know, it's interesting how how the double standards exist, girl, where, you know, he can be only one man amongst four, but the four have to only be with one man, girl. They don't have the freedom, girl, to have multiple boyfriends, but he got the freedom, girl, to have multiple girlfriends. But it's something I want to talk about regarding his recent statements, Omarion's recent statements on the Sherri Shepherd show about polygamy, and even Soulja Boy's hyper abuse, because I think there's a common thread, and I want to like get into that conversation. So we'll come back. But shout out, girl, to the plaintiff in this case, honey. Get your shit, Miss Mamas. Ending on another great note, girl. You guys know we reported on Ye, honey, who apparently, girl, is single, and he musky down under, girl. I guess Bianca couldn't take the funk anymore, honey. She had to haul ass. He done wrote a song apologizing to her called Bianca on his new album that I hope the Billboard shadow ban. But apparently, you know, following all of his recent online buffoonery, girl, Twitter, Miss Liberal Twitter, girl, okay? And liberal only means, girl, freedom of speech, girl. It's only for homophobes, racists, and conservatives, girl, okay? It's not for actual liberal people, child, okay? But hell, no matter how fake free speech Elon tries to claim he is, child, Kanye done fucked around and done been temporarily banned and suspended from X. Now, remember when he went on his rant against Cassie and Diddy and all them, Elon had unfollowed him, which is so hilarious that there's even a bar that Elon has established, child, okay, because he's another fictional character. But this is a text message that is too blurry for me to read, but it's Kanye texting somebody, girl, and he screenshots Twitter suspending him and putting disciplinary action on him, girl. Talking about, you, well, I guess I'm banned. Please alert the masses, girl. Whoever this is had text back and said, what about the album? He said, this is more important than the album. Girl, Kanye West says his ability, girl, to comment on a platform and only have access to 147 characters, you know, owned by some rich billionaire white man, girl, who is colonizing the entire United States right now, is more important, girl, than his own art and project, girl. My God, today. So Ye is apparently feeling pretty depressed. He responds and says, this is more important than the album. We're like Ye and Silent Bob. Getting banned from Twitter is worse than being in China trying to load corn with no VPN. I'll just start spamming you with my tweet ideas. Kanye West is a funky dick. Hypersexual male nympho. And I need to go get an update on those lawsuits against Ye, his wife, and the Yeezy company. Because as he continues to obsess with sex, even his recent tweets after he called himself failing to apologize to Jay-Z, he followed it up with another insulting backhanded tweet asking if Beyonce ever allows Jay-Z to get side coochie. So, you know, with them doing actual things and him making Bianca suck his peen over in Italy, girl, midday on them people's canoe, girl, ass crack hanging all outside, girl, I believe all of the allegations against Kanye West. The lawsuit filed against him by his own ex-assistant for sexual harassment, etc., girl. The claims made by some of his employees, girl, from the Yeezy factory, claiming that they were forced to watch corn and they have underage interns that are and work for Yeezy, who was also exposed to, you know, this corn that was disseminated randomly throughout the day, you know, to their emails and shit. I'm not sure what the state or what the country is waiting on, girl, to really get into the surviving Kanye West bag, girl. They all up on Diddy, but who's up next definitely is Kanye West, girl. I'm pretty sure we're going to see an onslaught of indictments, that Kanye West is going to soon be facing criminal charges, not just civil suits, girl, and that Kanye West is going to be going down in a blaze of motherfucking glory, and it's going to be one of the most unfortunate, tragic, iconic L's in hip hop, you know, second to Diddy, girl. I mean, all of our major Black male artists are just caught up in absolute craziness. From R. Kelly to Diddy, telling y'all, Kanye is up next. Soulja Boy, there's something deeply wrong with patriarchy entangled with hip hop turned mogul and money. These people are not well, baby. They ain't been well for a long time. And money just exposed the unwellness and the underlying sicknesses that have existed, girl. Even when they was broke, living in their mama's basement, eating oodles and noodles and boiled hot dogs, girl. And money and access just greenlit the disease, girl. It was like a disease that was lying dormant, girl. Like the abuse of it all was lying dormant, girl. The sadisticness of it all was just, you know, lying quietly in the shadows, girl. And fame and money just activated that shit, aroused that shit. Trey Songz, yes. The rapper Mystical, you know, he ain't that big no more, but, you know, he in jail for actual assault, etc., girl. You know, all this murder and homicide, child. Suge Knight, you know, got a boiled egg up his ass. And it's a mess, girl. It's a mess. But shout out to Twitter, girl. Shout out to Elon Musk, girl, for slowing down that traffic, girl, because I'm sick of Ye. I'm glad that he done been muzzled, girl, at least temporarily, child. I hope that we can make a united front to just not report on Ye, period, girl, because he gets his needs met every time, girl. He gets attention, whether it's right or wrong, girl, okay? When it comes to bad behaving children, girl, it's all about the attention. They don't care whether it's disciplinary attention, girl. Any attention is the attention that they're looking for. So, shout out to us, you know, being able to have, you know, some quiet from Ye, you know, over the next few days or weeks, girl. I don't know how long this gonna last, bitch. I don't know, you know, if Kanye West gonna let Elania run up in his bussy hole, girl. You know, I don't know, girl. You know, if he gonna throw that ass in a circle to get his Twitter privileges back, girl. But, you know, we'll see how long that it lasts. I'm out of here, you guys. Make sure that you guys thumbs up, share, tell a friend, subscribe, all that good jazz. If you enjoyed yourself, once again, Cash App, $ Consciouztv, and or PayPal.me/ConsciouzTV. Check out the earlier Hot Topic show that we did, girl, getting into the buffoonery of it all. I might be back again tonight. I gotta jump in my Patreon before I'm back on YouTube. If I don't see you guys on YouTube tonight, I will see you guys tomorrow for sure. I love you all, and I will see you all later. Peace.